Good morning, my YouTube viewers. In this particular video, what we're going to be discussing is local and global variables that are used in Python programming. So basically, a local variable is a variable that is defined in a function and it can be used only within that function. Whereas a global variable is a variable that's defined outside of a function and it can be used anywhere in the program. If you have a variable within a function and you want to convert it to a global variable, then you have to define it as a global variable within that function. So basically, in order to demonstrate the point, I've got this tic-tac-toe program that I had it in my Jupyter notebook, and I decided to convert it over to the Python idle. And so we're just going to go over the code of this program because this program has a global variable in it. And since it has a global variable in it, I thought it would be a good example to use to illustrate the difference between local and global variables. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import the random module, which is an inbuilt module in Python. So now in Python 3.13, which is what I'm using, you can use inbuilt libraries, but if it's not an inbuilt library, you can't use it unless you specifically import it, and I haven't imported any inbuilt libraries. If I want to use something that has an inbuilt library, I either use Google Colab because Google Colab has imported libraries into its system, or I use an online Jupyter interpreter. So that's one of the limitations of using Python idle, is it will only import inbuilt modules. So we're going to import random. We're going to create our board, which is a list of dashes. We're going to define our variables. So current player is X, winner is none, and game running is none. We're going to print the game board. So, and then that's going to be a function to actually print the game board. So print, and then you've got your board number 0 to 8, because in Python numbering system starts with 0. So instead of 1 to 9, you've got 0 to 8. We're going to take our user input, and then so that's a function as well, and it's going to take the board as input. And then so your global variable is defined as game running, and your global variable is defined as INP. So INP equals enter number 1 to 9 or 100 to quit, and it's going to convert. So whenever you use the input, it inputs it as a string, so you have to convert it to an integer. So if the input equals 100, print the game is over, and then game running equals false, return none. If inputs greater than or equal to 1 and inputs less than or equal to 9, and board INP -1 is equal to dash, then board INP -1 equals current player. Else, print oops, player is already in the spot. Then you're going to check for win or tie, and this is another function where it says check horizontal. You define the global variable as winner, and then it asks you, it has an if then else statement, which just talks about the places in the board. Then we have another variable another function called check vertical. So you have def check column, and again you define the global variable as winner, and then what you do is you have if then else statements to check the actual vertical placements in the board. Now we're going to check diagonal. So you've got a function where you're going to check diagonal, and it's going to take your board as your argument. You define your global variable as winner, and then it asks you an if and else statement or if elif statement, and then it'll keep going. And then so now we're going to check for tie. So you define the function check tie. It will take the board as an argument, and then if the dash is not in the board, print board, print it's a tie, and then game running equals false. Now you're going to switch player, so def switch player. So you've got global as winner global and global as current player. If current player is equal to X, dash current player is equal to O, else current player equals X. Now you're going to check the win. So you define the function check win. If check diagonal and it takes input as board, or check horizontal takes input as board, or check call takes argument as board, print the winner is, and then the winner. And then now it says let the computer play. So we define the function of computer takes the argument as board, while current player is equal to 0, position equals random.randint 0, 8. If board position is equal to dash, board position equals 0, switch player. And now we're going to run the game. So this is we've defined all of our functions, and we've got quite a few functions in here. So after we've defined all the functions, which that all it is just one big function, we're going to run the game. And you say, while game running is true, you're going to print your board, you're going to player input, you're going to check win, check tie, switch player, computer, board, check win, check tie, board. And then that is the contents of this program of tic-tac-toe. And so I did actually play tic-tac-toe. I played tic-tac-toe, and this is the output. But what we'll do is we'll run tic-tac-toe one more time. So we'll run the module. So enter a number between 1 and 9. So I'm going to say 9. It said enter a number between 1 and 9. So I'm going to say 3. And enter a number between 1 and 9. So I'm going to say 6. And then it says the winner is X. The winner is X. So I won. And so it says, and then I'm going to press 100. And it said the game is over. So basically that's just a really simple tic-tac-toe game. But I do have to say that I personally think that the tic-tac-toe isn't necessarily a beginner's algorithm. But I chose this program because it has local and global variables in it. But if you want to see it, I'll leave it on the screen for you if you want to copy it. But I'm sure that there are algorithms for tic-tac-toe on the internet that you can use as well. But I've just got it on the screen for you to copy it if that's what you want to do. But you probably won't need to do that. If you do a search on tic-tac-toe games, I'm sure you'll get the algorithm because it's a really common algorithm. So that concludes this video. And the next video I'm going to be making is going to be on lambda functions. And that's going to be really interesting. So thank you for watching. I'll communicate with you in the next video.